Mostly, a lot of guys caught those GJ sales in London.
Oh yeah? Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check out that
Yeah.
check check out that London chat.
Oh yeah, let me check.
The trade and upgrade sale is on now at Kia. There is no better time to upgrade to a Kia. For a limited time only, get an extra $500 bonus at the trade and upgrade sale.
Shut up.
No better time to upgrade to a Kia.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Shit. Man, I can't be a win for London ever.
Yeah, me neither. But I saw this, like last night, we were looking at EJ buys, right? So I had buys. And I was like, well, like, because either it would have broken above 118,200 or it would have broken below 118,100. So what happened was in Asian, this closed with the wick. I took sells, I got stopped out. And then took buys. And then I have stops at break even. And then I got stopped out. I was like, fuck. And then I looked at the weekly. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Weekly has only gone bullish, right? So maybe if this is a high at 118,200 should go down. So I took sells and then it went down overnight.
All the way down.
Yeah, all the way down.
Damn. So you're in like big profits now, eh?
No, I closed.
Oh, you closed?
Yeah, I woke up and I closed.
Shit.
Yeah, I got like 30 pips out of it.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Hmm.
Looks like I missed the GBP sales over here too.
Oh yeah, yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's coming down to this high traffic area now.
Yeah, that was my take profit, but then I got stopped out.
Oh.
Yeah, but at least I got a good chunk out of it,
Oh, nice. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
All right, where's my elevator music here?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Identify yourself.
Macedonian,
Oh, hey, Macedonian.
last name Nuts.
Nice to
Middle
meet you,
name
Nuts.
Almonds, Macedonian almond nuts.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Nuts. Hope you're doing good.
uh,
GJ isn't indecisive. I just saw your message.
oh yeah, super indecisive.
Bro, what do you mean? This thing broke down. It's consolidating for fucking 2 years.
Yeah, I caught sell since like 5:30.
Right, but it had a bullish trend, thinking that Boris was gonna make something up,
Nuh-uh.
and out the boot just
No, the trend was consolidation.
the trend was bullish.
Consolidation. Consolidation. Because look, price either moves up, or it moves sideways, or it moves down.
It
So
was moving sideways yesterday, and I was expecting a bullish move.
that's wrong. Because when price is consolidating for this long, you don't know where it's gonna break.
Right, but I was expecting a bullish move, like with things with the UK have been better, and
Yeah.
So I was like,
So price moved down, right?
yeah.
So now if price moved down, how could you have caught this? That's what you gotta ask yourself.
I would have had waken up maybe like 3 hours earlier.
Yeah,
Stops.
yeah, like me too. I missed it too, cause like now when I'm looking at it, it just because this candle closed below all these candles here to the left.
Right. It just stripped right through it. So
And there was no retest either.
So unless you had a sell stop or you were awake for London open,
Yeah.
maybe. But other than that, for us, no way to catch it.
It would have been like a big stop. There was a massive consolidation yesterday.
Right. Yesterday was that massive consolidation that looked like a barcode or a cereal box. I thought it was gonna go up. Like it was gonna break out of the consolidation and go back to the test 131. That was my buy. But apparently it did not do any of that. It said fuck you, boom. Back to 127 or 126. So how would you have caught that right here?
How I would have caught that move?
Yeah.
You know, I looked at GJ and then I looked at EJ. And I figured, well, GJ is pretty hard to guesstimate that's going to go down or go up because it's ranging, right? And obviously if it's going to break down, I'm probably going to be asleep. So I wouldn't be able to catch it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to switch to EJ. So when I looked at the weekly on EJ weekly was bullish.
Yeah, I see
right?
the message.
And remember in Asian, we had this range at 118, 200 and 118, 100.
Yeah,
Right.
118, 200, 118, 100.
Yeah, so price tried to break up, but it couldn't break up. So I looked at the weekly. I'm like, well, wait a sec. Weekly has only gone bullish. It hasn't made a lower wick at all, right? So maybe,
It's alright. It makes sense to go bearish.
yeah. So I took sells and went to bed.
Oh, also. Yeah.
Because we couldn't break above 118, 200. So I said, okay, well, maybe if that's the
Gold
top.
buys are lit right now. Gold buys are lit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That daily is gonna push up and get back to like 15, 20, I think. On gold.
Yeah, that's a deep boy.
That's a deep man too.
That's a silver deep man.
The hourly candle already flipped, so we're going all the way up to 15.10. Sorry, not 15.20.
Oh yeah, I think the hourly candle did a retest at 15.03 as well.
It did, yeah. I'm in from
It sounds like I'm about to get kidnapped.
Sounds like he's gonna.
15.03.90. 3 positions.
Sounds like he's gonna drive you to the ATM and say, "Get everything out."
Of course, I'm the Terminator.
And that sounds like he's gonna get my banking info over the phone. I'm just gonna.
Deadlifts increase the testosterone, man. I keep telling people to do deadlifts, but they don't listen.
Yeah. Oh wow, what's this?
100%, bro. Do deadlifts, man. They will change your life. Physically, sexually, hormonally, literally.
That's GJ.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Range, drop, range drop. Let's try. Oh yeah, gold is heading up. Previous gold has broken the high of the previous candle. If you look left, there's nothing. There's nothing till, see, clean candle, and when you get into this area, this is when you get into high traffic. So I think gold can head to 1507, 1508, provided it doesn't break these lows here. So this will be the stop.
Yo, Raquel,
Hey,
how you doing, man?
good man, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. And I miss your old playlist with the one you had with Mixer and Twitch.
Yeah, trust me, I missed that too.
Yeah, I always, when I backtest, I always listen, never gonna give you up.
I'm never gonna give you up. Yeah, I'm trying to see if GJ is going to do some sort of retracement so that we can continue bearish in New York.
Because it dropped hard in London session.
Yeah. Raja, on that gold, when would be a good time to buy and have your setup after the candle close? Well, think about it. Gold had resistance right over here at 1502, 1503, and then gold 30-minute candle broke out of it. And then this one here, it did kind of like a retest. So if you're trying to take buys, first of all, you need to see where your stop loss is going to be. So let's say your stop loss is going to be right over here, around like 16 pips, right? And then your target could be, you know, like 1508, which is 36 pips, or to be safe, 1506, 20 pips. So there you have it. You have a trade idea. You have a stop loss and you have a target. And the trend is bullish. Easy. Now, when you take the trade, two things are going to happen. Either you're going to get stopped out, or the trade is going to run to where you want it to run. And that would be your one trade for the day. But obviously the key of, well, the rule of thumb is that you have to wait for this candle to close first now. Because realistically, you don't know where this candle is going to close, right? So if this candle closes bullish, then you can say, okay, perfect. Next one is going to continue moving bullish.
I don't know why people ask what Raja's going to do when he just explained what to do in your case.
Raja's eating a watermelon right now.
Yeah. Who cares what Raja's going to do? It's more important what you're going to do. I just don't like the way people phrase questions. It's like he gives you an explanation on how you would approach the opportunity. It's up to you to make the decision to buy or sell. It's not up to Raja. Raja provided you the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. How's the morning, Ted?
It's been busy, but it's good. I'm gonna probably buy gold all the way to 15.15.
All right.
Yeah.
Raja, you didn't record yesterday's on YouTube. Oh, YouTube is still processing that stream from yesterday for some reason.
Do not see resistance at the 30-minute candle. Mm. 30-minute resistance. There's resistance at every level. There's resistance on the hour, there's resistance on the 4-hour, resistance everywhere. But you have to make a determination, and you have to figure out what makes sense for you in terms of your trading style.
Don't be a rebel. You still have that boring range from this. Me too.
Yeah, because UJ is bearish. UJ is really bearish. Gold has starting to pick up speed now. Should move up.
Yeah, if gold continues to move up, I think this might be the gladiator candle. Because we have support built at like the 1500s, and this bullish candle now is pushing up. So if we push up past yesterday's daily, this will be the gladiator candle that will probably break out, or at least go back up to 15. I would say, hold on, I have a 1514, at least 1509, 1509 to 1511.
Actually looks really tempting right now.
Yeah, because if you look at the dailies, all across the dailies, there's been support at 14.95 built now over the last some days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. All that's been support. So with that being said, you have this candle here, relatively new to the morning, should at least finish up to here. Well, basically across this level over here, basically it should come into here. If not, it could possibly break up to.
Yeah, that support is strong on the daily.
Yep. Because you basically have one of these things forming. Like if you always watch the smaller time frames, you have this down, and then that is what we see. So this, I'm watching this candle. This candle may be the breakout candle, or tomorrow may be the breakout candle where it just. So either way, we're going to have a good run with gold. Alternatively, this can be the booby trap candle, and then we just fly down. But I don't see that happening. I think this is one of those candles that's gonna fly up. Smells like a push. Smells like a push. At least 1508, I think. I agree. So your swing trade idea right now would be 1504 to 1492, and then 1504 all the way up to 1528. That would be your swing trade idea, if you're going to swing trade. So you can manage that as well. So once again, swing trade idea. Here, I'll mark this down on here so people don't keep asking.
Yeah, I'm in advice right now. I mean, 15. It does look like a fish. It smells like a fish.
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry.
Well, gold.
I was like, what?
Gold smells like a fish.
Sorry, yeah, 1494. Should have been 1494. Like, whoops. Well, that probably work later on in life.
Well, what did he type?
Let's swing 1494.
What did he type?
Oh, I put 1594.
Oh, nice. Start drawing some candles. That's a gold swing. Yeah, my stop loss is at 1503. I'll see how it works.
GJ dropping hard. GJ's gonna keep dropping to 128, 250. Come on, man, who's in the hood? Macedonian.
Bro, you know that's always me, bro. Ambulance is 24/7.
This early in the morning?
Yes, bro, it's New York. Odds. That should go para New York.
GJ. I don't trade gold, but based on my plan and rules, I have marked up gold. How would you see currently? Let's take a look.
Don't do that. Don't mark up charts that you don't trade, because you don't have enough information on how that pair moves.
That is true.
So you've wasted a lot of time. It's not me being rude, but you're going to confuse yourself, and that's just going to hurt you. Because gold has different tendencies and different things. So if you're going to trade gold, that's fine. Like if you're going to be practicing and you want to learn how to trade gold, that's fine. But like I don't trade AUD NZD, so I don't mark up that chart. Like there's no benefit to me because that's not practice. Because I'd never trade that pair. So only mark up charts that you're going to be trading, because that will allow you to practice, because you're going to learn the tendencies of that pair and how it moves and sort of the chart cosmetics of that pair, because each pair has a different type of cosmetic, right? We know GJ whipsaws a lot, has a lot of hard wicks. We know gold does the same thing. We know gold trends very well, things of that nature. So it's the same idea. So just keep that in mind when you're trading. It's great that you want to practice markups, but practice markups on a chart that you're going to be trading. And if you don't have one, go back and look at previous days and mark up those charts.
Yeah, because what happens is, like, let's say you mark them up, and if they don't work out, then you're just thinking, why?
I like gold if it continue to do this, because the 1 hour just had that big tail, so all those orders are going somewhere. So that's good. Yeah, bye gold. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna be a new trader. Yeah, go gold.
Go gold.
Go gold. No, don't go that way. What are you doing?
There's like 8 pips in there. Oh shit, 12 pips.
Shit, you called it right on the
12
spot.
pips. Very nice. Oh, someone's going to. Oh, very nice.
Done for today.
I closed at that top spike over there.
So did I. Yeah. 15:06:36 closed.
Nice.
Yeah, I closed those.
Nice.
But you know what? Okay, so here's the thing. So now everybody will turn around and be like, I missed that. You didn't miss it. You missed the first push. So now what you have to do is you have to take a step back, and like Raja says, you have to turn around and you have to evaluate that current candle, right? So we had that push. It went up, blah blah blah. So we're good there. The thing is, now what you have to look at is you have to say to yourself, okay, if we're going to continue to move up, that candle hit 1506, which was a resistance level, which we marked out on our target, and 1508 is the next target. So what we've done is we've tapped into that level. This is going to pull all the way back now, because of the fact that this was the initial tap. So this was your initial tap. You're going to probably have the next 15-minute candle. If it drops, it's going to drop here, and then it's going to fill this candle and continue to go up. So you have opportunities to take more trades on this pair, but the idea is you don't turn around and take a buy up here. If you do, you put a pending order here. This would be a pending order, but what we're doing now is in this section here, based on the 30-minute, is now you have to wait till 7:30, 7:15, see how the candles form for the continued target up over here, because we know that essentially what's happened is the market has decided that this is going to be where we're going to end up. It's just, if you were in from over here, you caught that move up, which is fine. So now if you remember how things work, is this is going to be where we end up. So this will be a zone. This will be your new zone that we will enter and bounce around here to continue to drive up. So this is why I turn around and say, people, don't get anxious that you missed that move. You didn't miss the move. You missed the move from the push from over here. Because if you look, same idea happened here, right? Same sort of idea. There was a pullback. Next candle does the little bit of liquidity grab, and then the continued move up. Same thing that happened over here. Okay, so you have to look back, and this is where, when you're trading, you're going to reduce the panic. What I mean by that is you're going to reduce the necessity to say, oh, I missed the trade. Look back at previous instances where we had similar ideas, where we had a pullback. You know that if we have momentum, we should continue further up in that case, and then you would map out your trade accordingly. Okay, so don't fear that you missed that. If you're trading gold, you should know already. You should have already been in the trade. To be honest, at 7 a.m. as soon as that candle opened, because if you go to the hour, if Raja goes to the hour candle, I'll show you exactly why. You'll see the hour candle. Look at that. All these orders here had to go somewhere, right? And we know that this is going to push up. This technically should have probably pushed over to here, to that zone, but it just pushed into this liquidity area right here. So that's why that's why we got that random spike up, because it pushed right into that zone. And if you're watching the hourly chart, you would have already seen that. So it would have been a good trade. The idea was getting at 7 a.m. because candle looked like that, and that's what I saw. I was like, okay, well, this candle is going to probably form without a wick because of the fact that we have that push up there. I mean, technically speaking, it could have came back down and created another candle to do that. Maybe it might now, but the idea was the initial push was a carryover from this candle here. So this hourly candle, this wick here, should have been on this candle here. That's basically what happened.
That was a very nice push.
Yep. Easy peasy.
DJ Party.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was super easy. Yeah.
I think we have streamlined the New York session so much.
Yep.
It's all streamlined now.
Like now, New York for the next half hour is just going to bounce around pre-New York. So 7 to 7:30, we're just going to have a little bit of bounce around. 7:30, 8 o'clock, we're going to begin the push. 8 o'clock will probably be a bit of a pullback, and then we'll have a continued move.
Alright, GP CAD is coming back down
Yeah,
there
I'm just gonna hold up.
to filling this daily candle wick here.
What's that, Ricky?
GP CAD daily, I've seen this a lot.
Oh, DCAT?
Yeah, like you see the daily candle that's
That's
gonna be
huge.
bullish with like a rejection,
Yeah.
and then the next one is just gonna
Yeah.
continue down to fill the wick. But then if it's gonna head down, yeah,
Like correction.
yes. So this was a retest right here, and now I think in the next 2-3 hours it's gonna continue moving. So we shall wait and see.
Ted, on gold, you often close after a big random push like that. It wasn't random. Yeah, I explained to you why it wasn't random.
It wasn't a random push at all.
It wasn't a random push at all. It was a continuation off of the previous hour based on the way that candle formed. If you look at the tail on the hourly candle, you will see orders being placed at the lowest level. That is why a wick is being formed. So that is why we had that initial push. And where did we push to? We pushed into this zone. So once again, if you take a look, and all you have to do is look left, and you map out your zone is right here. That's all we pushed into. We just pushed into that zone. That's it. Is this live for real?
We are.
Well, all lives are real.
Yeah, we even talked about this too, that if this candle closes bullish, your stop's going to be below the candle, which is like 12-13 pips, and then
Yep.
it just pushed
Exactly
up 18.
what this is.
Yeah, exactly like that.
It was. I mean, I don't know, like, I think some people have to understand the difference between watching and executing. Is you have to always study, and the more you study, the more this becomes very straightforward. You can see now, if you took a trade on the 5-minute candle, you would have filled that 5-minute wick. That's why this candle's filling up right now. So always keep that in mind. And as you get better with timing and the market and understanding, you'll see that there is information at every time frame, and there's opportunities at every time frame. Like this 15-minute candle now just rocketed again more. Fuck.
It's approaching target. Captain, it's approaching target.
Just missed it again. Damn it. Oh well, whatever.
At least you got the push.
Hey, no, this is a random push. This is a random push. This is a random push.
Damn it.
That shit just funny.
It's for sure going to 1508 now.
Someone's talking here about sell gold at 1508. I think that's a very wrong idea, because if gold gets to 1508 and you sell it, now you're being, I'm not going to say anything mean, but like, then you're trying to sell a bullish candle, and that's wrong.
Yeah, so if you go to the 5-minute candles, I'll show you what I missed. And this here, right here, this wick, as soon as it fails to break down here, that's where you could start buying to continue to fill the 15-minute candle. Because this here is the top of that 15-minute candle. Here's the range. You can see the range here is pretty wide, but more importantly is once you break above this level here on the 5-minute candles, now you can go into your higher time frames and you can start monitoring that. Right? So that's what we talk about when we talk about with gold, is this push here was, I think, what, 20 pips?
Yeah, 20 pips.
20 pips in a 5-minute candle. So there was opportunity there. But if you look at the way that this structure here is, this current candle here, this particular structure, if you memorize this type of idea, and we have momentum in this way, so this is your key to the game. You memorize this candle pattern, this idea. When you have the initial push up, the second candle will more than likely, or third candle, will fill that push. And that happens on every time frame. That's not just on a 5-minute time frame. That is happening on every time frame. So if you look at like an hour time frame, you look at a 4-hour time frame, that kind of wick in momentum will always get filled. This idea here, I've back tested that 10,000 times, and you'll see in 2 or 3 candles on higher time frames, maybe 1 candle on a smaller time frame, in momentum, we always fill that. Those are things I specifically look for, because essentially what's happened is you have the initial push that's gone into the zone, and then the rest of the candles are going to break out past that zone. And we know the higher time frame target was 1508, and we have a new hour candle, so this was a perfect scenario for us.
Yes. And this is awesome too, because there was no traffic here to the left.
That is correct. Yeah, it was a very straightforward trade. I missed it, but I caught the first one. So, whatever.
Where's Tashan? Because he came on and he's like, gold is going up. Gold is going to go up all the way.
Right here, bro.
Oh, right.
He's right there, bro. He's gonna take your wallet.
Still holding too.
Nice. Thank you, Tashan. Thank you.
Tashawn,
Oh,
did
bro,
you get upset yesterday on Instagram?
Oh, bro, people do my head in, man. It's not genetic, bro.
I was like, oh, someone laid the gorilla.
Yeah, somebody smacked the gorilla's ass and walked it.
I appreciate the tip for biceps. I like that. I did that yesterday.
100%, man.
Yeah, I burned out my
Which one did you
biceps
do?
yesterday. The 100 rep.
Oh, how you feel?
Yeah. That's like almost when have you ever done 21s?
Yeah.
Did you ever used to do 21s? Yeah. So I used to do 21s, but I didn't understand why I was doing 21s. But now the way that you explained it to me, now I understand why, like, you can't overload the bicep.
No. It's the tendon that's so delicate. You know what I mean? It's like the bicep tendon is probably the most snap tendon in the body.
Yeah.
It's because people overestimate the amount that they can put on it. Just because the bicep muscle can function, the bicep tendon,
Right.
is a different beast at all. Completely.
Yeah, I could just snap at another.
Yeah, just snaps, man. It's crazy.
So when I do 21s, like do 7s, I always do maybe 20 pounds, 30 pounds tops, and
Yeah.
I use the tricep rope.
You know, when I do
Out
of
21s,
Mexico.
I break the movement into 3 parts. So I do 7 from the bottom to halfway, 7 from halfway to the top,
Yeah.
and then 7
The
full
full.
range.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Right,
Crazy, man.
and all the way up.
Crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, gold reached its target, Raquel. Sorry, we were talking about lifting.
Oh, yes. Yes. Gold reached target today. Thank you for showing up, everybody.
Target achieved in 15 minutes. But dude, I hope people understand why that was achievable. I think this is what it is, like when people laughed when I said I smell it going up. The thing is, the thing is, it's when you're trading, you're creating a story. And every time you create a story, you have to put all the pieces together so the story makes sense. So my first initial thought was we have support on the daily, which is heavy at 14.95 because I said there was a swing opportunity at 14.95 to 15.24. So that's the first thing. The second thing is when you understand gold very well, or you understand a pair very well, you understand the tendencies, and you know what gold's trying to do. Gold's trying to rocket up, and then you drop into your shorter time frames and you execute based on that. So the execution was, the hour time frame previously, there was a tail. And then what Raja said to confirm that was he went into the 30-minute time frame and said basically this area here, if we don't break that and the candle on the 30-minute finishes bullish, that we would then continue going up. And where's our target more than likely? When you map out the 30-minute targets, you can turn around and you can say this is a very aggressive target. We don't know if it's going to happen in 30 minutes, but you can start to see where there's information that, we could push up into certain ranges, right? And here's the thing. If you know that you're pushing up into this range in this candle here, you still have a lot more time. So more than likely, you're going to go into this target here and then eventually this target here. Because once again, the candle that you're focused on is 30 minutes, right? And if we get a pop within the first 5 or 6 minutes, you know that there's still another 20 minutes to go, 25 minutes to go. So you know the candle's going to have legs. Now, here's the thing. When you look at this candle now, you're going to say, well, Ted, that's great and all, but now this pulling back. What does this pullback signify? Look at the time that you're in on the charts right now, right? So this is a 30-minute candle and we're in at 7:18, right? So here's the thing. So look at your 30-minute candle and look at your timing at 7:18. Every single time when you're looking at your target and your candle starts to pull back, you say, well, this is stupid. Now I'm stuck in a pullback. Yes, because the candle has to break into different regions, right? So here's the beginning region. It's like a story. Here's the middle region. Here's towards, the push. And then then your ending region is the last candle or the last arrow that I've put. That ending region is the start or the beginning of the new candle that's going to form. Because once again, all we do is look at every 30-minute candle. Every 30-minute candle has a bit of a pullback, right? So now when you understand that idea and you say that, you look at previous candles and they all have wicks and pullbacks, you can understand why we're pulling back. So this is where you do your detective work and you look at the current candles in the shorter time frame. So you would then go into your 5-minute time frame, maybe your 1-minute time frames, and you would say to yourself, okay, I know towards the end of a 30-minute candle, there's going to be a pullback. So I have to either make a decision either to exit the trade because I took the profit that I wanted, so we took 15, 10, 15, 20 pips out of it, or I'm going to hold on the basis that this is now support. So here, let me do this. That this now is support, and providing that we do not break this support, we are going to continue up. So I don't necessarily care how deep this candle goes. It's more the fact that I'm concerned about this support not being broken. As long as this support doesn't be broken, we're going up to here and then eventually continuing all the way up. So you need to understand all those pieces, and you need to be able to put those pieces together every day without thinking about it. And what I mean by that is you have to understand that logically, towards the end of a 30-minute candle, we're going to have this pullback. So if you know that, you need to exit your trade, and you can then essentially double dip. You can say, okay, if the candle finishes here, I know that the next candle will probably create a wick down, and then we're going to fill this wick all the way up. So I can then place entries in this area here to continue to fill, because our target is over here. Why is our target over here? Because we have these wicks here, so more than likely it's going to come into that area and then eventually up into this area here. So if you understand all those ideas and you put them together every day, that is the reason how you will get high probability trades all the time.
Yeah, no, that was actually pretty amazing. Like, I'm just looking at it, and I marked up the chart too, and it was just so perfect. Picture perfect. And guys who are trying to buy right now, or, you know, trying to like sell this, for buying, you've missed the move, basically. Please check for us the Euro JPY. Euro JPY has broken down and now it's consolidating, right? I mean, now it's consolidating, and if this consolidation breaks, okay, let's take a look here. It's consolidating right here. You have a resistance and you have a support. Now, if this breaks down, you look left, you're like, oh, there's a clean candle that went up, so there's a high probability it's going to continue moving down. But now you have to wait for a breakdown, or you can have a sell stop at 117.760 and then catch this move down. So now essentially just waiting. GJ has reached actually this high traffic area here. There's a lot of consolidation here from 15,000, well, from Friday actually. GP CAD, I think by New York Open, GP CAD should continue moving bearish. Just gotta wait and see.
Can't explain random pushes. Well, I mean, you answered your own question. You can't explain. Random means you can't explain it.
Yeah, it's true.
That's like when someone says you're more wrong. It's like there's no such thing as being more wrong. It's you're wrong. Wrong is an absolute. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You can't be more wrong. So if it's like, if it's random, you can't explain it. If it's random, you can't explain it because it's random.
You cannot be more better.
Yeah, Tony, you're right. I probably want to get this move down here, like this second one, because it seems like that's a more easier move to catch rather than, you know, being stuck in this range here that you have, the first one.
Looks like we're gonna hit 1509.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, target exceeded.
Good morning to you, Lucky.
Good morning, Rich.
Yeah, I sent the EJ set up on 1 hour. I think maybe you can see how it is.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. So ideally you're waiting for the support to break at 117,770. So you're right.
Because I believe it made something like a resistance and broken down.
Yep.
And we have good traffic to the left.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So now it's just ranging, so just gotta wait for it to break this support and then continue down.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you have really nice analysis. Like I see all the charts you post, they're very simple charts. Very simple.
Thank you, Rakib.
I like how you guys saying about the big candle looking left. That makes a lot of sense to me. Yes, because if you have clean candles to the left, now you have a very, very easy trade.
Yeah, because you're also looking at mirroring, right? You're mirroring that previous move. And what I mean by mirroring is the fact that we have a strong move down and it will be corrected by a strong move up because there's no traffic, right? So if you turn around and you look at this space right here, you see there's nothing. You see there's traffic here when there be traffic here, right? There's all traffic here because of traffic here. And then there's going to be traffic here, so more than likely there's going to be traffic here. So when you start to do analysis, if you turned around and said, okay, what is good, what is bad, right? More than likely this is going to be bad area because of this, bad area, bad area, bad area, bad area, bad area, right? Because you can see, and then the only green area would be essentially your open space, because there's nothing there. So where we've had all this candle movement in this section here, it never reached up into this area here. So that means that this candle more than likely will have a clean move because of these larger candles, like Raja explained earlier. Right, and then essentially all we're doing is we're going from one clean move to a dirty move, right? So your dirty move, once again, is right where Raja put his target. Why? Because he's looking left and he's seeing all these different candles and all these different rejection points. The key is, once again, when we look at rejection points, is you come to this level, you can take profit at any given time, where you can go here, maybe you want to hold it to here, but more importantly now this becomes probably a major support, because this 30-minute candle has officially broken out of this range over here. So you know that information. And now when you go to the higher time frames, this is where you now start looking. If Raja goes to the hour time frame, you'll start to see now where we have issues, because this target was essentially right into the hour zone. So this is where you would say to yourself, if I was trading on the smaller time frame, as soon as I saw this area here, and if we saw this breakup and I didn't know where to take profit, I would then start to look right around this point here. So my take profit point would probably be right here, because we have just before all those wicks, that's where the body would finish. So you can see that target's like 1507. We closed at 1506. So I mean, you give or take, I always err on the side of caution. I'm never, like, when I put my take profit points out, I always also estimate, like, hey, if in a perfect world, it's going to hit that area. Like Raja put 1508. In a perfect world, we put those targets out there because we've mapped out an idea. But then, depending on how the market moves at that particular time, is, hey, maybe if you get that random push, because we've seen random pushes, or that big spike, that random spike, I guess, when it moves up hard like that, sometimes it would reverse all the way, right? So Raja and I both saw the exact same thing at the exact same time, which was that push happened way too fast, so chances are it's going to pull back just as hard. It didn't pull back as hard, that's fine. Some people caught more of the move, some people caught less of the move. Like, it's no big deal. It's just the idea that, if we played this trade 15 times or 20 times, if you replayed this type of trade with gold, chances are sometimes that this candle here we wouldn't get this push. It wouldn't happen in 30 minutes. It would take maybe 2 30-minute candles, because we can see the strength of these candles haven't been as much. And we had sort of like a resistance area here, so to speak, before we had that spike up. Because sometimes what will happen is gold will spike up to here, and then it'll whipsaw back down to here, and then it will continue on its journey. You know, a perfect example is something like this, right? You see that, you know, you get this huge wick up, and then it whips all the way back down, and then the next candle then continues up. So, you know, it could have easily formed that way too. The idea, once again, is when you look at trading, you always look at the long-term probabilities. You never trade in a vacuum. Never say, well, Ted, you're stupid, you should have held up to here. The idea is, yes, target is going to be achieved up here, but we don't know if it's going to take 1 candle, 2 candles, 3 candles. The idea, once again, is to trade within your comfort level at that point. Yes, if we do break up 1509, you can probably go 1509. You can probably go to top of 1515 or 1516. In that space, if you're looking at the hour charts. Nicole, so if you're looking at that, yeah, once we break 1509, I'm watching that as well. I mean, basically, it seems like gold has boxes of 50 pip movements, so like 1509 to 1516, 1516 to 1522, and then 1522 to 1525. So I think that is happening up to that. So if we're doing that as well. I think the daily candle here is moving quite nicely. I think the daily candle will probably finish at 1510 or so. And then what we may find is we might have a pullback, and then Wednesday, Thursday, get the big push up to 1525. But I do see now that we've created support at 1494, that we're going to continue up to 1530, unless there's something that happens with the trade wars, or Trump says something to drive the market back down. But it's just something that I see right now. But I think now people need that. Hopefully these explanations have helped people when they analyze their charts, because now you're putting everything together in terms of the way that you view the market. And always remember, the market is a story. You have to tell the story. It's like you're watching a movie. You have the beginning, the middle, and the end. And every part of that story, which are the different charts, the different times, the different way the market is structured, that is going to help you tell that story. And if you can put those time frames together, you'd be surprised how easy it is to map out areas of where you believe price is going to go. More often than not, you're going to be in a positive situation, and you won't be saying that we're wizards. You'll just be saying it's common sense. You know, Raja's targets are always, for the most part, on point. When he trades gold now, I tend to agree with a lot of his targets, or we'll talk about it. But that 1508 target was very, very achievable. I got my trade of the day. I got 15 pips off of that one push, so I'm sort of happy with that. But the idea, once again, is, you know, like I said, if you're swing trading, you have a very good swing trade now, because that move will continue, and then you just have to hope that we don't drop back down to 1494 again. But we shouldn't. If we keep holding support and we go up to 1515 today or 1520, you might find that, you know, you have a good move at that point. And if you look at this, if you didn't understand anything that we talked about this, what you can do is you can then go back and you can watch this stream, and you can just watch from 6:45, the beginning of the stream, to like 7:30. So the first 45 minutes of the stream, you'll be able to see exactly how this analysis played out and why it played out. So always take a timestamp. So you turn around and write down on the times where you hear me speak, look at your watch, and then look at the time on Raja's chart. You can see he has it at the bottom of the screen, bottom right, and you can then go back to that timestamp. Write the timestamp down, 7:34. Okay, I need to hear something that Ted said at that point, or Raja said at this point. You'll be able to do that.
Yeah, because like Hashan said buys, I saw buys, you came on, said buys, so that was like 3 confidences right there. Okay. Because Hashan never comes on unless he's 110% certain.
That's awesome.
Paul, I
That's
think...
I'm already in something. I won't come on and say shit because
Yeah.
nobody likes to lose and be a knob.
Yeah, so that's like, I think that's the resistance area where price tapped into, because there's some sort of consolidation there, and then this is why it's getting a rejection. So if you're looking for a buy, I think you might want to see price create some sort of a support, maybe like, like in this, from this area right over here, for it to continue moving bullish. But EG would moving bullish would make sense if the pound would be weak, and it seems like pound is weak today. Well, it was in London, so just gotta wait.
Yeah, it's Rakeel with an R, guys. R-A-K-E-E-L. Akeel.
Akeel Stokes. Dun, 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 dun.
It's so funny when this music plays. It's like you just turned around and make money, and you're like, da, 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 da. This is calming music.
Dun, 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 ding. Well, this is a good morning. I mean, no. I guess we just answer questions.
Mm-hmm. Do you see a bat pattern forming on gold? Yes, Robin will be over there shortly to save Batman.
Oh yeah, he's right. There's the bat pattern. Right here.
That's
This
a
is
bat?
inverted bat pattern.
Oh, Batman, yeah.
Inverted. Yeah.
I always thought that this was like the camel pattern. That always looked like the camel pattern to me. Is this?
Rakeel, question. What was the pair you were looking at? You said that it's ready to drop. GCAD or UCAD?
GPCAD. So I was looking at GPCAD. So basically, GPCAD has created resistance at 1.61240 and support at around 1.60900. Right now.
Yeah, no, I see it now.
Yeah, and there's also news coming in for CAD. So I was looking at the daily. And I was looking at daily and I said, well, maybe like, GPCAD can come down and fill the daily wick here, which was like a rejection candle. So then I looked at the news and I'm like, okay, well, there's news here for CAD, so maybe that's going to provide some catalyst.
Some catalyst going down, right?
Yeah. But now when I see the news, they're expecting it to be bad, which would mean GPCAD should be heading up. So we're just going to wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because now it's
I'd
just
rather
ranging.
be safe than go to 8:30 and see how that plays out.
Yeah. Hey Paul, if you remember, we were talking about this yesterday, that pre-New York usually, has clean moves for GP, and then New York just retraces and does some dumb shit.
Yeah,
So I think that's what's happening now. It's just retracing or trying to do some dumb shit right now.
Yeah, EG is gonna be. If it doesn't do anything in an hour, then I'm not gonna take anything.
Yeah, that's what I do. Cause like if I can't find something till like let's say 9 my time, then I know for sure that I shouldn't be trading after that.
Yeah, I tried EJ earlier at like 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. and broke support, retested, started to head down, and then it printed 2 bullish 30-minute candles, so that was a break and a retest to go up, and it looked like the 4-hour wick, and then it came back down.
Oh, to go up?
Yo, Rakio, check your WhatsApp.
Check my WhatsApp. I'm checking. Oh. Wow. Owls have skinny ass legs. This skinny kid yesterday, I'm doing triceps, right? The skinny kid is pushing like he's doing bench press with 70-pound dumbbells, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, damn, man, you're strong. So I'm like, hey, have you tried 85s? And he's like, no, I haven't. I'm like, okay, let's try it. I'll spot you. He's like, oh man, are you sure? Are you sure? Am I like ruining your workout? I'm like, no. I just want to see you do it. And yeah, this guy, he pushed 80s, and then he pushed 90s.
Imagine if those shits would have fucking dislocated his shoulder. Like, yeah, I got you.
And just let the weight fall on his
It
face.
goes down.
Oh no, I got you.
His limbs go out of place. I got you.
Yeah, some skinny guys can lift pretty heavy.
Safe if a random was behind me and says, yeah, I got you.
Difference between range and consolidation. Consolidation and range are effectively the same thing. UJ and gold always has inverse correlation, not necessarily.
Forex Rob is awesome. This one guy, he's like, I'm sorry to blind you with the brightness of his teeth. Oh wow, someone made 600 from those gold buys. Yeah, he's just gonna break the support and he's gonna come down to 117,650. Yeah, probably fill this weekly wick here too.
He just dropping.
Yep, he just dropping. If you look on the daily as well, now this daily candle has gone below the previous one, so this is going to continue moving down.
Yeah, those weeks.
Yeah.
People are saying gold is dropping. So keep in mind when we look at gold and we say gold is dropping, if you go into the shorter time frames where you see reversals happening, you have to understand what those reversals can mean. If you look at the 30-minute candle on gold, you will see this candle is dropping, right? So right away everyone says, oh, gold's going to go back down here. But then take a look at the pattern, right? So you have bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. So there is a high probability that this is pulling back because obviously we hit this area here, but more importantly, it can be creating a support area and then either deciding to go up or going down. So you have to keep that in mind. And when people turn around and they look at gold and they're like, oh, gold's going to drop. If gold's going to drop from 1508, you have a lot of room to come back to 1500. So you don't have to necessarily enter this candle. You can enter in over here. You can enter in over here. And you can still get a safe amount of pips to get your information. If you're going to enter now as a sell, I mean, I feel like terrible that you're doing that, but your stop loss would have to be over here, and then obviously you would just figure out where your take profit could be. Your take profit could be, you know, maybe over here, maybe over here, like if that's what you truly believe. One thing, when you look at particular pairs, and when I look at gold as an example, the daily candle, the way that a daily candle is formed, about, I would say, 7 out of 10 times, the daily candle maintains its structure. So if you saw yesterday, the daily candle was bearish as we came into the New York session. The daily candle was bearish the rest of the day. So when you look at the daily candle currently right now with gold, it's bullish. Chances are it's going to be bullish the rest of the day. It's very rare that the daily candle on gold flips. And what I mean by that is when we come to this late in the day, because technically we've gone through almost 2 sessions, right? Where we've went through the Asian session, we've gone through most of the London session, and now we're in the New York session. It's very rare that the gold candle is going to create this massive wick at like 1508, and now we're going to drop back all the way to 1490. Like it's very weird. It's very rare that you have that happen. I mean, if you all you have to do is just go look at previous daily candles. Just look and go into the daily session and go into like where you have the 7 a.m. hour, the 8 a.m. hour, where you have the New York session, and look at where gold was at that point and compare it to the daily candle. So go back and back test that and then see where gold finishes at the end of that day. More times than not, gold follows the same structure as the rest of the day. That's all. So you just have to really just be aware of that. And if you want to trade small ranges and you want to scalp these pullbacks, I mean, great, you can do that. My train of thought has always been, I don't know how far we're going to pull back. I'd rather just take a trade above here and then just have it continue to go up, because it's easier for you to go up with the trend than it is for you to turn around and say, call this resistance, major resistance, and now we're dropping. Like, that's just my opinion, because the higher time frames tell me that this is the direction that we're moving. So that is what I look at. It's simple things. And once again, you can look at analysis for any pairs. Normally it's very hard for the daily trend to change. You may have pullbacks within that daily trend, but it's very hard for the overall daily trend when you see a candle for a particular pair to change direction. So just keep that in mind. And I mean, if you're worried about like a candle flipping or something of that nature, I would just turn around and be like, okay, I don't want to take a trade with that pair because it doesn't have a proper structure for me, or I don't understand the structure. And as you get better as a trader, you start to understand more structures, and more you see more examples of that happening, so you can anticipate the move at that point.
Hello, Ted.
Yes.
Yeah, just to add to what you were saying, I think people try to forget that if you look at gold, averagely gold makes a move of about $10 move, like every day, at least 10 to 15. So if that's the case, even if there's, like you said, the bullish close of a candle before New York, after two sections, the candle still continues bullish. So if you're looking at that gold as a currency pair to trade it, you have to put in mind that gold move at least 15 pips or $15 difference from the open price or the low of the day to the close of the day. So if you're using that as a confluence to trade today, that might help you wait for a pullback and hope for a continuation for a bullish close.
Yeah, and even to that as well, what you can think about too is if we finish with a bullish close on today's candle, you know that we've created a very big support. So chances are, if tomorrow we break above today's high, we're going to continue moving up. So you could sit on the sidelines today and watch gold move, knowing that tomorrow, if we have a strong bullish candle again, that's even better confirmation for the continuous bullish movement up to like 1525 or whatever the number is going to be. That's how you would plan your trades. That's how I plan my trades. Like right now, if there's an opportunity with gold and I do see it break above 1509, maybe I might look at taking a position, or maybe I might wait and say, hey, tomorrow I could turn around and take a better entry because the daily candle is going to be fresh. So what we took today at 7 a.m. or 6:45 or whatever time you took gold buys, tomorrow morning I could probably come in and do the same thing, or I can go through the Asian session, take a position where we're at the lowest point, maybe at 1510 or whatever the number is going to be, knowing that tomorrow morning I can wake up and the candle could be at 1515, 1520, and I've had a very low risk trade because of the fact I knew the daily momentum was going to continue from Tuesday. Yeah. So there's an opportunity as well, is you can turn around and sit back and just wait for now tomorrow's setup and take an even bigger move.
Definitely.
Gold forming at 5 minute support. Yeah, I mean that's an opportunity as well. So right now, if you took a trade on gold on the 5 minute, your stop loss would probably be around 1505 or 1504, and your take profit would be probably at 1508, 1509. Because it looks like we're starting to push up. My fear right now is you're gambling because we're coming close to the hour close and we don't know how the hour is going to react at 8 a.m. So just be very aware of that, and just keep in mind that you might have another pull down to this level here before we break all the way up. I would have liked to see this candle break up more before I would look at buys, but any buys above here should be pretty good because you'll have a pull down if this creates support, and then a push continued up at that point. If not, like I said, just wait till tomorrow. I mean, this is the biggest thing that you can do, is you have the opportunity to control your outcomes and to control your reality. And I look at today as we got a push. Maybe we get to 1509, 1510, maybe we don't. And then tomorrow, now if the candles range from 1505 to 1508 all day, I know that tomorrow, if we do push up, we're going to go from 1508 probably to 1518 or 1520. So you just have to take a look, and you have to plan your trades ahead of time. You have to plan out your schedule, and if you're trading a particular pair, and this is why Raja says trade one pair. If you're trading just one pair, you can do this because you take your trade of the day, and then tomorrow now you can anticipate an even bigger trade because you've watched the way the markets formed today in the directional bias that you want. Like, we were always looking for buys, we didn't really want sells, and now it's forming back in that directional bias to buys, and you have targets now on the upper region, right? So if we look at our charts on the weekly, where's our targets? Our targets are going to be 1525, 1530. So you have this opportunity now, if this weekly candle does flip, you know, and we get to this point over here, you have this whole upside, right? So you have all this over the next, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, we have this whole upside to fill. So this is where you don't have to panic or rush and be like, oh, I missed the move. You have this whole move right here. Trust me, you didn't miss any move yet. You're at the cusp of the move. And even if you get in over here, you didn't miss the move. You miss the move when you get over here. If you try and take trades over here, you've missed the move. Don't take trades here. Take trades in the sweet spot. right here. You won't have missed a move. Because all you have to do is wait for this weekly candle to flip. If it does flip, you have this whole upside. So you have basically 1508 all the way up to like 1524. You have like a huge upside at that point.
So let's take a look here. So weekly candle is going to be flipping at 1512.
Yeah, so 1512 to 1524. You have a huge upside.
Oh yeah, because 1512 is a nice strong resistance too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I asked someone said EJ sells is a good idea. I asked you that question that if it has broken support is because you could then ask that question to yourself too. Because now if you ask yourself, EJ sells, but has EJ broken support? And you're like, nope, not yet. Oh, it's breaking support.
Yeah, hi Ted. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, it's Radar 4040 from London. How you doing?
Good. Oh, how are you, man?
Not too bad, I'm good, thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to say something quick. You know, I always like the way you talk about the institutions, especially when it comes to gold. If you check on any, basic website, like you always say, what are the banks doing? And just this year, though we are in the 8th month or so, gold has done about 17%. This month is done about 7%. I think if you check on my FS page or any of these basic websites, the thing is, are they selling? If you look at, though we are in consolidation, but as you said, we should look for the sweet spot. I don't see any institutions selling now. I bought in today. My TP is about 15.15 if we get there. And for the last, I think 4 months or so, I've been very bullish to maybe 1600. So what I wanted to say, sometimes it's not just about MT4, but like you always say, look at where the institutions are. Fundamentally, you can say that all the major banks, institutions, cartels, what have you, Vaticans, they are all buying. So sometimes we need to look at the bigger picture. Looking at Wonder Why is amazing, 15 minutes, but like gold is now, you really, you can give me your money if you want to sell now, wherever you are on the chart. So sometimes let's look at the bigger picture, like you always say. And since I've been looking at gold that way on the weekly, daily, where we are heading towards, it's just consolidating on the daily. Yeah, so please, thank you so much for kind of always telling us about the big banks and, all that they are doing. I don't see any government like Russia or China selling their gold now, not even UK, So thank you for that. That's the point I wanted to make some of our members. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you. If anyone is in profits right now or has made some percentage, understand this: you're in the top 10% right now. Top 10% of people who made profits, who are profitable. Now if you try to overtrade and you take a loss, then you're going to automatically come down to the top 90% who always lose. And losers always cry. Yeah, so we're talking about EJ. EJ hasn't broken support unless the candle doesn't close below it. As you can see, came down and someone said, no, Roger, you're wrong. And candle pulled up. A lot of people are watching Euro GBP for a buy. Your biggest mistake would be to buy Euro GBP when the candle is bearish. That would be very stupid. Because you can't buy when candles are bearish, no matter how strong the zone is. this? GU is retesting broken support. Oh, I don't even have GU here. So if you want to send charts from TradingView, just copy this last code and then send the chart. We'll see it. But it has to be a labeled chart. If it's just a chart with lines on it, I mean, it helps nobody, right? Forgive the newbie question, but when identifying market buys, is it just a matter of looking at the direction of the EMAs and the high time frames? And they're, well, EMAs, I haven't used them, so I can't answer that question based on EMAs. Well, I have used them, but now I don't use them because, like, talking about EMAs now is going to be opening up another box of problems. And by problems, I mean questions. What are you drinking? I'm drinking cappuccino. Before my cappuccino, I had Kokomo. Before Kokomo, I had watermelon. Kokomo, mujhe bhi do. We're getting really good at New York sessions. Oh, page does not exist. Oh, there it is. Oh, someone's taking UJ sells. Nice. Your stops is good. So yeah, it's pretty good. Looks good. The only problem is that this. What about this support here? Are you ignoring the support? What about this support here? Now you just ranging, so you might as well waiting for a break. But if you're already in profits, it should be good. GJ is having a nice pullback, but not shorting. Yes, that's true. So to short GJ, you would want GJ to break below 128.200, right? Because if you're looking at the 1 hour chart, and if the 1 hour candles came all the way down and rejected this area, that means this is a strong area that made GJ 1 hour rejected. So for sells, a break of this would be perfect. And then you can see that it should head all the way down here. Wait, I wouldn't be surprised if it, you know, corrects 50% of this move up. EuroCAD triple top is melting. Damn. Triple top. EJ broken support. EJ hasn't broken support unless candle doesn't close below it. Man, people are so naive, so innocent. So innocent. You gotta wait for it to break below, close below. Because, like, look, you have all this range down, right? All this range down. So if you're feeling, you know, risky, at least you might want to have a sell stop at 117.750 or even 117.765. But then you gotta figure out where your stop loss is gonna be. A good stop loss should be at 117.850. That's above the previous 30-minute candle. Because it's just like we talked about yesterday, that you want if candles are moving down, you want candles to make lower highs and lower lows. See, this is a high, this is a lower high, this is a lower high, so this is a lower high. So you want them to keep on making lower highs and lower lows. Would you short GJ? No. I already bought, I held EJ sells overnight. I got gold buys. And I'm probably not going to take any more trades. Maybe GPCAD, if it breaks support, I'm going to look to take the trade down to 1.60500. Other than that, nothing.
So people are talking about gold. They're all worried about gold. Everyone's worried about gold. We're not worried about gold because gold has a zone that it's going back to. right? So remember, we're playing the game of ping pong. If you look on the hourly with gold, it's very easy to figure out what gold is doing. And I will explain what's happening with gold if Raja goes to the hourly. So remember, we talked about this candle here. That is a new zone, right? Because that candle here matches up with this area here. So if you were to pull that all the way across, this entire area here is a zone. So there's a point where gold can drop back into this area and then pull away. So your trade idea will be above this area here for you to take buys. Now, if you're gonna take buys in the current candle, you have to be willing to hold up until this point here, and that is a very big stop loss. So what I'd be looking at is if we're going to fill this area here in the next couple of hours, that I would be trading above that point. But when we also look at the way the daily candle is, the daily candle, we basically almost touched the top of the previous high of the other side, or sorry, the previous daily. So he said he's not worried. It's psychology. 964 Visuals is from Detroit, 8 Mile.
See, your JPY hasn't broken support. This is where people keep selling and your JPY says, no, 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 not yet, not yet. So you gotta wait for it to break below and close below.
And lately, this week and last week, it's been very messy. The North American session, like the Open, has been very, very messy. I've noticed that. Like we've gotten massive pullbacks of like yesterday. You get massive pullbacks of like 20, 30 pips, and then it moves in the direction later on in the morning and the afternoon. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that gold's pulling back like this because we did pull it. We did reach that heavy target at 1508. Is there any advantage of using TradingView?
No.
I don't know. I've never used it. I don't know how to use it, actually. I screwed up. The one time I tried to use TradingView, the charts squeezed together, they moved the wrong way, it didn't make sense.
Moved the wrong way?
Yeah. No, literally, I was trying to use TradingView one time, and I was trying to move the chart so that I could like map out things, and then the chart squished together into like 3 lines or something like that. Yeah, I couldn't figure that out. I just use MT5 and I'm okay. I can map out everything there. What snipping tool do I use? I use Snagit.
Yeah, Snagit is awesome.
Yeah. What's the algorithm I'm using? My head, because I've seen the same things happen over and over again. We did take a trade already. We took gold buys and we collected pips on gold buys from 1504 all the way to 1508. So basically, we took buys from this area here all the way up to here. So people took positions all in that area and won. Right now, we're waiting on this candle to stop dropping into this zone and pull back. Why do you prefer MT5 over MT4? MT5 executes faster than MT4.
Karanveer Dutt from India. Advice on GU, please.
Hope I had a lot of coffee. I never drink coffee. I was up at 2:30 this morning, went back to bed, and then I just had some Gatorade right now. Why do I use Snagit? because I downloaded it for free and I cracked it with the crack license. So now I have it free forever. It's just easy.
Let's give some advice on GU. GU trended down, consolidated, trended down, coming up. I don't see a trade on GU. Ted, do you see a trade on GU?
Go to the daily. Actually, I'll look on it right now myself too. So your issue is the current. You're at a major support on the 4 hour. That's the biggest problem, and we don't know if we're going to break that. The daily's dropped all the way down to that daily support. If the U.S. doesn't have any strength behind it, I think you're going to find that GU is going to range a bit. Because I think we figured out the lowest point of GU, and now we're just going to push back up. On the 15-minute, I can see GU potentially going back up to 129.63. Yeah, where we got. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at your chart. I was just. I think it would push right through if this candle does break up. Because of this wick here that rejected. So essentially what we have here once again is you have this zone here, people are leaving, and then we're coming back into this zone over here, or even this area over here, right? But I always look, for my initial targets, I always look at like the first set of wicks, because at any point it can reject. But the good thing is at this point, this candle does go up, you have like a clear, strong body here. So I would say a target potentially would be at this point right over here. That would be the target, and it's moving to that target.
So since Monday on the streams, we've had a 100% win rate.
Last week we've had 100% win rate too.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, actually, no, we lost a couple of trades, right? But the overall, it was winning, right? So like if you went and you look, I think your record is like probably like 23 or something like that. Yeah. So it's not like, and the 3 losses were like small losses, but the analysis was right. It was just too early of an entry or something like that. Sean Lee is in profit now. Sean Lee's always in profit. That's the beauty of Sean Lee's trading. He shows you charts that are always in profit.
Sean Lee's USD CAD sells are also in profits, even though it's moving up. You know, yeah, so if you look on Euro GBP, this is why you don't buy when candles are bearish, because they're bearish. Even though it's at a retest area, but they're bearish. You just wait. Whoever disliked this stream, their mom's gay. Okay. News is coming in for CAD.
Oh yeah, I read about that. Wick fills on the AstroFX course. Why are they teaching that now? I thought that wasn't a thing.
Yeah, I was watching their videos and I heard someone say in the background, so you see this wick will get filled, and then someone in the background says the wick fill theory, and I'm like, oh, and it was one of those in-person courses.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Well, you created a course.
Yes. Morgan Stanley.
That's good. I'm glad they figured out something. We've figured out some new ideas, and we've been able to share with the Forex community. I don't really care if people talk about our ideas, and I'm not going to bitch about the fact that it was our idea originally. so it doesn't matter. But I'm glad that we're changing the dynamics of Forex, because we're now the pioneers in that theory. So it's pretty cool that now people are teaching that. There's going to be books about Wickfills now, Wick. That's going to be crazy. I want to read a book on someone who writes about the Wickfill theory to see how accurate it is in terms of what we coined and how we built that theory compared to whatever other people interpret now. I'm excited for that. Ted, you should get royalties from that Wickfill course. No, I should actually get royalties from Wicks Don't Lie. I gotta find that guy. Because when I taught Wicks Don't Lie about Wickfills, because we coined it after Shakira, hips don't lie, right? So the original theory was your hips don't lie from Shakira, and then we just said Wicks Don't Lie. So I think that was one of my best pieces of work that I wrote. That article that I wrote on Wicks Don't Lie. I think that was my best one of my best pieces of work. Let's see, do I have it here somewhere? So GU just hit the target as explained earlier. So GU hit the target. GU is passing through the target now. So if you took the GU trade, congratulations.
Ooh. EG's dropping.
Wow, DJ moved too.
Yeah, GU just pushed all the way up, so everybody got money on GU. So whoever wanted that trade idea for GU, congratulations. You made money on GU. Gold is still sort of doing its bounce around major retest. So, can you tell us why the spike on EG, please? Sure. Let's go on to Google.
Whoever talked about selling gold at 1508 was absolutely right. But there were no confirmations. But you were right.
There was a note right now saying Johnson accused of killing off any prospect of Brexit deal. Initial interaction. So it looks like that's weird. And GBP USD just pulled right back into the range. So that's why you exit. Good job. Who mentioned taking GJ buy with me? I'm up 40 pips. Great idea. Everyone caught that spike. There's another winning trade. How can you tell whether it's a wick fill or a rejection on a candle heading the opposite way? Okay, so that's interesting because you can't fill a wick the opposite way. The wick has to be filled in the same direction, right? So as an example, let's look at this candle here. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll try and make this a little bit neater. So this area here versus this area here. Okay? So here we have rejection. Why? Because momentum is down. Here in this box here we have a fill. Why? Because momentum is up. Why is this momentum down versus this momentum up? Because here is support. Okay? So when we leave an area and momentum shifts, we get a wick fill. So here, technically speaking, this should fill. Why? Because momentum is up. And what is happening here? This area, oh shit. This area here is a test of the previous resistance area, which is now support. And gold does move 10 or 20 pips. That pushes, it does push in that direction. So the idea would be once this candle goes bullish, whether it's the candle next one or the next one after that, this wick should be filled in momentum. When there's no momentum, that's a rejection. But the key here is this wick is bullish. It's not bearish, right? Where this wick here is bearish, right? This wick here is bullish because of the bullish rejection. So that's what it should fill. This here is bearish. So we have bearish rejection. Why? Because we're at resistance. Would you have bought GJ in that range? What would you have done is on the 30-minute, there's a candle that hit support, and once that bounced off support, we did have a push to go back up. How many rejections on support zone before considering a buy? That is up to you to determine your risk tolerance. Right now, people can be taking gold buys on this candle here on the anticipation that we're going to continue further up. You then have to determine your risk to reward. So this obviously would be your stop loss area, and then over here would be your take profit area. So there's opportunity there. Other people will turn around and say, this is my stop loss area, and this is my take profit area, and I'm not going to take a trade until this candle flips bullish. So there are multiple ideas. You have to determine what you're comfortable with. So you determine your comfort level and your strategy and what your plan allows you to do. My plan is usually I want to see a bit more confirmation of bullish movement before I take trades. Sometimes I'll take trades off a 5-minute candle. Sometimes I'll take trades off of 15. Sometimes I'll take trade off an hour. So, you know, it just depends on what it is. So basically wait for a bullish candle on gold to buy. Well, once again, you have to map out your plan and see if your plan makes sense. Maybe by the time we get a bullish candle, this wick is almost filled, so there's no trade, right? You have to determine your risk versus reward, right? So you have to determine the range. Like right now, we're between 1508 and 1503. This is your range, right? So let's go through this very simplistic idea. This is another theory of mine. It's called the range theory. So this is range, okay? So this is your range. Your range is in between your support and your resistance, essentially, okay? So this is the range. Your idea as a trader is to figure out how much of this range can I get. So maybe I'm only going to get 30% of that range, or maybe I want to get 80% of that range. As you trade, you have to figure out what makes the most sense. And as you trade more often, you have to understand that you're more than likely never going to get 100% of this range in a long-term trading. So the idea would be to say, okay, if I know I'm not going to get 100% of that range, maybe I'm only going to get 60% of that range. And that's the basis of how you would trade, because you know that your entry is never going to be perfect, right? We're never going to get the best entry because maybe this drops a little bit more, and we're never going to get the best exit. So the idea is you want to get a part of this move. So if you know that you anticipate that this candle here is going to be bullish and we're going to fill that range, the idea for you is to figure out that I may get only this portion of that entire move. So you have to keep that in mind when you're trading at that point. And this is what you consider a range. So this is your range that you're looking at. And then you're saying to yourself, this is basically what I'd probably get out of that range, because I don't know for sure that we will get to the top part here, and I don't know for sure when I'm going to be able to get a perfect entry over here. But you do know that you're probably going to get most of that candle. And you are able to put that towards any type of trading, and that is the range theory. Something else I wrote many articles on for people in the Forex family that they have access to.
All right, we have CAD news coming in. One lot equals 200 commission. No, I think you need to close this stream down. You need to go to babypips.com and you need to study like how commissions are calculated, what spreads mean, what type of accounts are here. I mean, if you don't know that, you can't. It just I just don't want to even say anything, because then guys are gonna say, oh yeah, Roger's mean. Roger's so mean.
Okay, I'll say it. Yeah, this is not a educational stream where you can just ask questions about brokers and lot sizes. It makes absolutely no sense. If you're coming to this stream this early in the morning, that means that you actually understand trading and you're looking to add some value to what you're currently doing. The education component is on the YouTube side, where you go through the 60 videos and you can look at questions all on there in terms of everything that we're doing. Raj is a nice person. I'm the mean person, so you can get mad at me because I don't really care. Forex family is closed. Market fluidity is open. So email Raja. Don't email me because I delete the email. I don't even respond to you.
Oh, really? Just
When people message the inbox, they're like, I want to learn about the course. No. Because I figure if you know Raja, you should be emailing Raja. Forex family is closed. Forex family is a small group that is now closed to new people. Market fluidity is the evolution of Forex family. And that is, if you want to become part of the Forex family, you join market fluidity. That is the second component.
Please tell me GPCAD buy or sell now. 2 minutes. Okay, so you can have a sell stop at 1.60900, or you can have a buy stop at 1.61300. Because news is coming in, but my bias is bearish. I think it should push down. So there we go. Sell stops and buy stops. Because it's ranging right now. When it's ranging, we don't know where it's going to go. We have no idea because it's news time. So sell stops and buy stops. Use sell stops and buy stops. So a good sell stop is going to be at 1.60900. you go. Got a sell stop, and the buy stop is going to be at 1.61300. I haven't put in the orders. This is just for your, if someone's, you know, trying to be a cowboy.
So Ted, since it looks like gold is rejection, when that count as a wick fill if the candle closes back the way it was right now? What wick are we trying to fill on what time frame? I don't know what time frame we're filling wicks here. I don't see where we're filling wicks. On the 1 hour, yeah, the 1 hour would be a wick fill to the upside. We don't, the wicks are filled in momentum. The momentum now is still up, so that previous wick is not, that 1 hour wick isn't supposed to be filled. That's not a wick fill. That's, you're tapping into a zone. If the candles were rejection, if we were bearish, then it would be a wick fill.
Yeah, so let's say the candle turns bullish, starts to go up, then you can say, okay, we're going to fill that wick.
Right.
And as you can see, there were buy stops and sell stops. Nothing happened, so you know, you just wait. Yeah, carry on with your day.
Yeah, literally nothing happened. Oh, your cells are right though.
Yeah. I mean, it should keep dropping. Later on, maybe it's going to drop.
No more student intakes? No, I'm not teaching any more students. I have my students and I'm happy with them. If I do a new student intake, it will be $25,000 a course, and it will only be a 10-minute course. Everyone will pay, yeah. Okay, it's 100,000. Let's keep upping the price until people don't want to pay anymore. Scenic rim carpet cleaning, you know that. You quote jobs and you make them expensive because you don't want to do the job, but if then they pay, you still do it and then make even more money. I know. I used to own a renovation company, and well, I'm still part owner, and that's what we used to do as well. Is we used to overprice quotes that we didn't want to do jobs for, and if they took it, we'd be like, okay, cool. I hate people like that in the FX community. Yeah, so do I. Don't worry.
Cool story, but that's actually how Arnold Schwarzenegger made his millions before he actually became a success in other areas of life. When he first came to the US, him and Franco Colombo met at a gym, and there was recently an earthquake in that part of California, and basically everyone's walls and driveways had collapsed because of the tremors. So what they did was they made this business, this bricklaying business, and they basically repaired people's walls and driveways. But the way they do it is Franco spoke English and Arnold also spoke English, but they pretend that they both spoke German, and they would quote the customer with one price, and then Franco would say, I have to go and speak to the boss Arnold and see if that price is acceptable, and he'd start shouting in German, and then he'd walk back and say, actually no, the price is way lower, and then they'd do it. So they'd quote them like 2,000, be told, oh, that's way too high, then go to Arnold and be like, blah, 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 and he'd say, okay, yeah, 800, that's acceptable. But really, they didn't really have any experience doing it, so any price was a bonus or a win for them.
Yeah.
Clever. gold looks like it's going to push up again.
Yeah, gold's finding support.
Yep.
A $25,000 course would be how to download and install MT4. No, I wouldn't teach you that. I teach you where to get it. I wouldn't teach you how to download it. You'd have to figure it out for yourself. That's too advanced.
25 grand for a Forex course.
Could you imagine?
Ridiculous.
Well, we were looking at a course yesterday, 9,000 for, they will teach you MT4, they will teach you how to make a trading plan, and they will teach you price action. So now when you're looking at the candles, you're expecting this 30-minute to, you know, stay above 1502 and then continue moving bullish. But you gotta wait for the 30-minute candle to close here, which is 25 minutes. So, you know, you just relax, you go on Instagram and see some food or booty or whatever you like, and just for 30 minutes, and you come back and see what happened. That's honestly like the hardest thing for people to do, just wait. Oh, 7 people gave me thumbs down? Why, man? Come on. They gave me thumbs down on YouTube.
Probably because they try and emulate what you say and still can't replicate it.
Yeah. How do you see upside with AUD USD? Alright, let's take a look at AUD USD. Because we got nothing to do, so we're going to take a look at AUD USD. Oh, let's start with daily. We start with daily and we see barcodes. What do we do when we see barcodes? We print it off and take it to Walmart and see if we can get something. Because barcodes, look at this 4 hour. Look at this, okay, take a look at this, right? AUD USD, barcodes. So when you look at GJ, GJ was also barcodes. And then what happened? Look, big move down. So when you look at AUD USD, you see barcodes, and then you're like, okay, maybe I'm just going to wait for a big move up or down. So when you look left, you see, okay, maybe, you know, 0.68, 600 would be a good target if it breaks up. Or this 0.66, whatever this long number is at the bottom would be a good target if it breaks down. So you measure it. This is 50 pips if it moves down, and this is what? 50 pips if it moves up. 50 pip ranges. So you know, you just gotta be patient now and wait. Who is in gold buys and from where? Iron Man Trading. I think the question is, where have you taken gold buys? And what's your target? Because trust me, 4 other people being in gold buys is not going to move gold up. Because previous gold candle was bearish, so you have to wait for this to close bullish to take buys. Oh, Paul is out. See you later, Paul. Opinions on UJ. My opinion on UJ is that it's coming down. It's ranging now. It's got this 106.250 where it can move down to 106.250. But it's ranging on a 30-minute now, so just gotta wait. See when you see this ranging, trading is so easy. You just draw a line at the top and the bottom and you're like, oh nice, now I just gotta wait. Look at this. So beautiful. The most anxiety you should get in trading is when the move is happening and you're missing the move. I mean, that's the normal anxiety you guys get, but this should be the easiest set up here because it's consolidating. So now there's no anxiety, there's no FOMO because it's ranging. Look at EJ. How many people said it's breaking down, it's breaking support? But it hasn't broken support because candle hasn't closed below. So there's nothing wrong with it. So if you're in sales on EJ, you're getting some anxiety because it's not breaking and you're in sales. I'm from Canada. How you guys minimize your taxes on your trading profits? Well, once your trading profits go beyond your primary income, then you gotta worry about those taxes. I'm doing some calculations that I'm not even going to get into here, but probability is very high. I'll say AUD pairs, just putting it out there. Okay. AUD is bearish, moving slow, but I do believe it will head down monthly and weekly, still bearish. Well, that's the case with GJ here. GJ, someone told me yesterday that GJ is bullish because candles are moving up. And I said to them, no, GJ is ranging. So you gotta wait for GJ to break, and look what happened. GJ broke down. Raphael, how's gold doing? Gold is doing great. Gold is in good health. It's got some volume in it. It's doing great.
Gold's doing fine.
Yeah. Gold broke a leg and it came down, but gold's still doing good. $119, $179. So EJ, you can take the buy to 117,900. That is wrong. You can't because EJ's in a range. I mean, let's just use a brain, you know. So if you take a buy over here and your target is 117,900, that's 7 pips, right? Your spread is, let's say, what, 1 pip? So now it's cut off. Now it's 6 pips. But will EJ get all the way up? Who knows? So now that's cut off for 4 or 5 pips. So it makes no sense. Yeah, someone's... It's fun answering questions. Oh, here's a lesson in greed. Alright. You got a lesson.
Yeah, I think gold's gonna take off again.
Gold TP was at 1509. Had just moved it from 1507.50. Didn't get filled. Now have to go through the pain of waiting and hoping it heads back up there. Yep, that's a great lesson.
Yep.
Because your TP made sense, but it was way up there in the zone. So you always keep targets like, you know, conservative targets.
One thing I noticed, like when I used to trade before, is the market can change in an instant and it's not going to keep paying you money. So take your money when you want to take your money, you know.
Yeah.
Because this is the only job in the world where if you're right, you get your money when you decide, not on a day that someone else designates you to get paid. So take your money when you can, man. You can close that trade if you're in profits whenever you want, buddy.
Yeah, my rule is now when price goes in profits, my stops, they go at break even no matter what. Because the worst thing in the world is having a profitable position go in a loss. That's the worst.
And I think stuff like that as well, it kind of affects us psychologically and emotionally as well, because then no matter what trade you do for the rest of the week, you're kind of thinking, oh, that one trade, you know, and you kind of have a chasing mentality and you kind of get greedy. It triggers so many problems off the back of that one trade. So I feel like
we have pro binary options trading in the channel today. Welcome.
Binary options.
Yo, Raja, have you ever tried trading in binary option?
Yeah, that was actually my first thing I tried, binary options.
And how was it? Can you
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about it, please?
Yeah, this is like 6 years ago. It's basically, so you can see this chart, right? And then you basically place a bet that, okay, let's say you're going to put down $100 and you'll have 1 minute or 5 minutes or whatever. So I used 1 minute. So I'm going to say, okay, in 1 minute, price is going to stay above 1504. If it stays above 1504, I make double. Yeah, that's how it worked. Binary options.
Okay, so it's like based on time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but it's like you get like, if you win, you get like 80% of what you invested or bet, and if you lose, you lose everything, right?
Yeah. So if you lose what you bet on the table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raja.
Yeah, but now when I look back, now I think we can really kill it in binary options because we know price action.
Yeah, but you won't get paid.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, now your JPY is trying to break down. Yeah, now it's go time on your JPY. Just gotta wait 15 more minutes.
Yeah, I think this hourly candle on gold is almost the same as 2 previous hourly candles. And I think in 15 minutes it might flip. I think it might be a bit premature for buyers. Let's stay that it starts to flip immediately. I'm gonna wait for the hour closes anyway.
EJ dropping.
Yep.
Finally, it is dropping.
I bought gold.
EJ should drop till 117,650. If you had a buy stop at 117,760, it should be activated and should continue down. Hey, Paul. Paul, are you here? Where's Paul? Paul's not here. Oh. Someone's on a bike? A jackhammer? Yeah. Roger, do you find that you often get stopped out prematurely due to putting your stops at break even? Yes. If my stops are at break even and if I've secured profits on some positions, 70% of the time I'm going to get stopped out.
Wow, what is that? Euro JPY. Fucking nice. Dropped hard. Are you in sales with you?
No, I'm not.
Damn, it would have been nice to sell, man.
Yeah, it's dropping very nice. Hey, whoever that is, you're getting kicked right now. I'm just gonna. Alright, rich.com.
Rich.com, mute yourself.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know who killing you.
Once again, if you didn't enter a buy stop on EJ, what's the best time to enter? The best time to enter would have been to map out the trade first. Joseph, you are trying to solve Forex. At sometimes there is a break and retest and sometimes there isn't. So if that's your plan to wait for break and retest and it doesn't happen, then there's no trade for you. Simple.
Ooh, EJ reached target.
Oh, pushing.
Where's gold? Ooh, 1504. Oh, this is a great analogy. So I'm talking about gold with somebody, and we're talking about like how the first punch is always the hardest. Now the second punch, now it's formulating, but it might not necessarily be as hard as the first one. That's why we come to the table to eat early, because if you come later on, there are only crumbs left. That's a good one. Very nice.
I have a feeling this hour candle on gold has been a booby trap, and it's gonna fly.
Yeah, trading is kind of like when you go to, when they make new houses, either you go in the start to get the best bookings, or you go in the end to get the worst bookings. So what would you rather do? The first one or the last one? I'd go for the first one. What time frame is gold going to push? It doesn't matter what time frame.
Whenever it does.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey man, do you get sell on gold at this level? I think a sell on gold will be a break below 1502. EJ scalping, can we buy? What? No. Why would you want to buy when candles are bearish? I mean, look Look at the daily candle, bearish, 4 hour bearish, 1 hour bearish, 30-minute bearish, 15-minute bearish, 5-minute. Well, who looks at 5 minutes? But like, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. They're all bearish. I think you should change your name. I think you should keep the name Pro Binary Options Trading and just stick to that. Trading is, Forex is way too complex than binary options. If gold breaks the low of the previous 30-minute candle, then gold will have a very hard time going up. Oh, there we go. See, so if you had buys, your stops should have been below the previous 30-minute candle.
Retest then, maybe. I got stopped out on gold anyway. Gold's going down hard.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Just like I said, breaks the low and boom. How much did it fall? Ooh, 12, 13 pips. Ooh, UG also dropped. It's leg day today. Tashan, I go really hard on legs. I hate leg day, but I just gotta get them done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some squats. After that, I'm gonna do supersets of hamstring curls and lunges. Then I'll do leg extensions, superset with jumping squats. I think that's enough, right, for leg day?
When I'm doing legs for strength, I mainly focus on single leg exercises. When I'm focused on legs for size, I'll do like, I'll pre-exhaust. So I'll do like a bike ride, and then I'll do quad extensions, hamstring curls, leg press, and I'll do squats, and then I'll probably do some walking lunges, and then I'm properly done by that point.
Yeah, you know, I've also tried that. I've seen it on the internet, but then I saw you do that too, where you put your leg on the bench, and then you just try to do like one leg squat, like just body weight or with dumbbells. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and depending on the position of your torso, depends on like what part of your leg will work as well.
Yeah. So I want to ask, so how far are you putting the leg? Is it at a 90 degrees or is it like bent a little bit?
I'd say like parallel, 90 degrees.
Let's see here.
For me, anything else just aggravates my hip joint, so.
Oh. Oh, this is super hard to do. right here. Yeah, I did this and I realized that my one leg is stronger than the other.
That's why I do it.
Yeah.
To bring up the weaknesses.
Yeah. Yeah, I've also started to do handstands against the wall. And my goal is to do those shoulder presses like while I do the handstand.
Oh yeah, like CrossFit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty tough, man. You go down and up, fuck, it's tough. You should try that. Oh man, I'd love to see you do that on a video.
Yeah. I'll maybe try that today because I got shoulders later on. Thighs would have been good from that bottom wick on that candle in gold. Is it news or something? I don't think there is.
It was just like a push, it seems. Nothing really.
Just a grab, liquidity grab.
Yeah. Gold does these deep grabs. You are my fire. What's this?
I think gold's gonna fly.
Yeah, it seems like.
Ooh. Ooh, EJ's dropping. Looks like EJ's coming down to where we said it would. Beautiful. Wow, what a drop. Can you explain your GJSL entry today? There was no GJSL entry. Where do people get these ideas from, man? Oh, stop entry. Very nice. gold is on the rise. Wow. If it crosses 1506, it's going back up to 1508. But it has to cross 1506 first.
I think it's listening to you, Raquel.
Yeah, I think so, Raquel.
The institutions are like, oh no, no, oh. Someone took GJ cells. Very good, very good. Just make sure you're aware of the support. Oh, god damn, he's just still dropping. Do you have tutorial of your strategy? There is no strategy. Trust me, there is no strategy. It's just the understanding of how the market behaves, how candles move between zones and at different times of the day. We used to believe there's a strategy as well, but we were young and dumb. Now we are old and mature. So we understand there's no strategy. Ted, you agree with me?
I do agree. It's all probability. Looking at what you've done and doing the same thing over and over again.
Yes.
Like that gold trade that Deshaun called, I was able to take that trade.
First thing in the morning.
As I agreed with his analysis. That we had a liquidity grab and that our candle was a booby trap candle.
What's the booby trap candle?
Yeah, so the candle that just closed, the hour candle that just closed, that candle was basically a fake out to the downside. And we tapped 1501. Yeah, we had 1501 tap, and then it just pulled all the way back up. So now this rejection should continue all the way back up to 1508, 1509. I just got out because I got in at 1502, so I just closed at 1504. Technically, I should have let it run a little bit more, but I think the next 15-minute candle may pull back a little bit and then drive to 1506.
If you look at left, the most recent wick pointing up to 1509, I think that was necessary to collect all of that liquidity to fill the wicks further left up until 1512. So yeah, I got in at like 1503, so I'm just gonna hold for a little while.
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah.
I entered, like I said, prematurely, but that was okay because I did 40% of my account before, so I used a little bit of that to kind of.
Yeah, to buffer it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this 30-minute candle now should fill all the way to 1506, more than likely. Once it breaks once it breaks 1505, it'll go to 1506, 58, more than likely.
Do you really have like a phobia of playing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gotta get better at it, but because everyone always tells me they want me to come over to the UK to hang out because we'd have a big party out there.
I mean, just take it a baby steps, man. I'm really scared of like arachnids to the point where I will never ever go to Australia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm not even worried about there. I can't get there on a plane, so Australia's not even on. I got to get on the plane first. I'll worry about all the arachnids and the kangaroos later.
Yeah. What about cruise ships though? Because they.
Oh yeah. People said I should take a cruise. The QE3 goes across from New York all the way. It's like a 2-week It's a 2-week trip. I'll eventually get across. What was my entry confirmation on gold at 1502? If you look at 1502, that was a support level on the 5 minutes. And as soon as we started to pull back, I caught the next 5-minute candle up with a stop loss below 1502. And also keep in mind what I had said about the previous hour candle, which was a booby trap. So all we did was we tapped back into that zone to go back up. So now it's going to range in between 1501 and 1506. And so you just make sure that you have proper stops in place. But once again, gold is very difficult to trade when it's in a range, so you have to be very, very cautious. But more than likely, gold should continue to push a little bit. Now, if you see where gold is at the 15-minute candle, you'll see that it's back in that range. So this candle should be the one that pops a little bit further up to 1506. If you're looking to take a trade, once again, my idea always will be try and stay above this area here and ride it up to here. Don't get stuck in here. If you took a trade over here or over here, you're fine. Just manage your stops, because now your stop has to be below this area over here. And if you look exactly at this level here, you'll see exactly why that happened. So there you go, that's your level for gold, and that's the reason why it happened. Gold runs very deep and very hard sometimes, so you just gotta be very careful.
buys, EJ sells. Ted, have you ever thought about trading futures market? Oh, I don't know. I hope one day I will return my losses. Yes, one day it shall happen. Any wheat stocks on here? Peter, you don't know what a pip is? You don't know what commissions are? You're trying to trade? I mean, I don't know what you're trying to do. I have no idea what you're trying to do. I think that's like a blind man trying to win a marathon. So you really need to know what you're trying to do, and then yeah. And USD CAD is going to keep on ripping up. Daily is bullish, so there's a chance it will continue bullish. You know what we did? We installed a small monitor in the bathroom for my son, so while he bathes, he can watch Paw Patrol. So he stays in there for like at least half an hour. It's amazing. Oh, Paul sent a chart. So what I'm going to do is here for YouTubers, this is how I mark my charts. So you had resistance on EJ, you had resistance, and then you had support, right? And candles weren't breaking support. Now, if they would have broken support, you look left, clean traffic, clean candles, and then you had a breakout. And once you have a breakout, and then you know, okay, well, we've had a breakout, there's clean candles to the left, so maybe, you know, like this area down here would be the area where price is going to come down to, you know, and then candle retraced, and this was, if you would have entered here, your stop was like 10 pips. 10 pip stop for a 15 pip gain. Because look, it dropped from 750 to almost like 575. Well, I guess that's the end of the road here. Got some trades and I'm gonna go to the gym here in like 20 minutes. Look at gold. Yeah, what about gold? You know, now it's gonna move in the next hour or so, but my trading time is over. Take care, everybody. Have fun. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't overtrade. Don't over leverage, please. But no one's gonna listen to me, but whatever. Adios.